at Tynecastle. It's taking a long time, but it's finally here. And a great atmosphere building up in the stadium. Craig Levein has had to make one change from the side that defeated Dundee United. Stephen Mahe is ill with the flu. He's replaced with Austin McCann, who comes in for his first game for Hearts since September. So Hearts will have Roddy McKenzie in goal, McKenna, Presley and Webster, Maybury and McCann, Gronlund, Fogle and Fulton look strong in the middle, and up front Gary Wales and Ricardo Fuller. Ricardo Fuller has scored in each of the last 3 games. Hearts have won them all. He's been an important presence and he'll cause Hibs problems this afternoon. John O'Neill has been handed the captain's armband by Frank Sauzet, the Scottish internationalist. Is only one of 4 players starting today for Hibs that scored this season. In fact, 26 goals out of the 33 have been scored by players who aren't playing this afternoon. The Hibs team with Nick Colgan in goal. It's Orman, Murray, Smith and De La Cruz, Arpignon, O'Neill, Brebner and Zitelli, and O'Connor and Hurtado up front. The referee today is Stuart Dougal, who had a quiet Boxing Day at Kilmarnock. It'll be a little different here this afternoon. Hearts come into the Edinburgh Derby as favourites for the first time in a while. But have to be wary. The Edinburgh Derby has got a habit of turning things on its head. First free kick of the afternoon. Hurtado going in a little heavily, making only his second start for Hibs. An important player for them in their search for goals. Well, Frank Sauzet in his first Edinburgh Derby has got a tough act to follow. Alec McLeish in 10 Edinburgh Derbies, lost just 1 and won 5. Good control by Arpignon. Norman goes forward, fires it in. Arpignon gets the header, swept away before Gary O'Connor could get there, and it's out to Ricardo Fuller. Fuller now driving forward. That's a good tackle. Very calmly done by Gary Smith. That's an early marker for him. Gary Wales held off by Gary Smith. Good play by the defender. Fuller's been given a chance to run. Ian Murray matching him. Fuller cuts inside and beats Brebner. Drives it across. Orman was there. Lots of room in the midfield. Austin McCann sends it on for Thomas Fogle. Orman comes across. Fogle sees his cross blocked, but he'll accept the corner. It's Hearts first of the game after 10 minutes. Avery's corner is an inviting one. It's headed away. Fulton then returns in. McKenna's onside and he's going to score! Not the cleanest of connections, but Hearts are ahead. McKenna takes the salute of his teammates and the home fans. Alan Maybury swung in the corner. He was initially defending well, and Steve Fulton was hanging around and played in the header. Hibs reacted for offside, and Kevin McKenna just bounced the ball over Nick Colgan. Ian Murray was looking for the offside, couldn't get back in time. And it's the start that Frank Sauzet definitely didn't want. Hearts fans are happy. Ahead by 1-0. The referee will say that's a free kick. And it's Zitelli caught out there. Steve Fulton goes across to take the free kick. Fulton drives it in, headed up by Brebner. Not cleared. Gary Smith then gets the connection. The shot will come in from Alan Maybury. Well, the clearance header came out. Alan Maybury is yet to score for Hearts. The Hibs now drive forward. Dela Cruz comes in. McKenzie got there and then knocked away. Alan Maybury, he just had the shot at the other end, and now he's raced back to ensure that Hearts keep their 1-0 lead intact. A shout of handball in the box. The Hearts players, Gary Wills in particular, thought there was an appeal there. Ball played into the box. Well, Grant Brevner seemed to lead with his arm. Referee Stuart Dougal deciding no penalty. As Gary Wales holds up, tries to flick the ball back. Hearts control through Gronlund. Maybury then plays it for Fuller. Murray will have to be wary. Jamaican just had his heels clipped there by David Zatelli. Well, Ricardo Fuller. Got a little bit of space from Ian Murray. And Ricardo Fuller went down. Fuller puts it in. Nick Colgan comes and takes and drops it. He was under pressure though. The free kick is given. Well, Nick Colgan took it cleanly and then found himself bundled over. In fact, the ball came out of his hands after pressure from his own player. It was Kevin McKenna who went to ground, and that's where the free kick came from, but Hibs perhaps fortunate to escape. Lots of activity on the edge of the area as Orland plays the free kick in. As they got the initial header, Appion brings it down, blocked before he could get the shot away. John O'Neill plays it forward, great chance. O'Connor blocked though by Roddy McKenzie. It's not cleared yet. A little stab in there from Zatelli. Gary O'Connor had the opportunity. Took it down well, caused problems. Roddy McKenzie skipping the ball away with his feet. It's been a nice time for Hibs to get their first goal under Frank Sauzet. Wales tried to release it. That's a lucky bounce for Hearts. Ricardo Fuller has it. But he stepped off on Fuller who shoots. And Steve Fulton onto Gary Wales. It came off Ian Murray. But Ricardo Fuller, well, the shot was ambitious and well off target. But again, another opportunity for a man who scored 5 times for Hearts. 1 minute's gone at Tynecastle. Just over a half hour played as Hibs prepare to launch the ball forward from the free kick. Tado misses out, but it breaks for O'Connor. That's a good effort. And Roddy McKenzie read it well. It's very calm. Gary O'Connor has already had one good chance, controlled it well. Good overhead kick with the right foot. And Roddy McKenzie took it well. And Hearts have space. They use it through Steve Fulton. Fulton going forward. Tried to play it through. Got the break of the ball. Still Steve Fulton. Just inches away. The space opened up for him. He's touched fortunate the ball came back. He stuck out his leg. Good control. And the shot with his right foot. Something of a collector's item for Steve Fulton. Fuller plays it forward. Wills and Fuller. They combine well. Hearts of men in the box if Fuller can deliver. He does, and Thomas Vogel with a chance. It's good play by Hearts. Ricardo Fuller. Flogel and Fulton in the box. It was Thomas Flogel who met it. Yet to get on the score sheet this season, Thomas Flogel, but he really got underneath that one. O'Neill tried to get away from Alan Maybury, but he did well, Maybury, and now Flogel has it for Hearts. Building down the left, good overlap by McCann. First time ball, trouble for Gary Smith, could be a chance here, the shot's kept low, and Nick Cogan had to go down to take it. McCann got it in, the touch came out, and Gary Wales, who's on form, kept it low, almost squirmed through Nick Cogan. The keeper held. Hibs pick up through Dela Cruz onto the captain, John O'Neill. Back to Dela Cruz. Dela Cruz on the run, past Simmons. Gets himself into position to cross. Roland though clears, and this is danger. Ricardo Fuller just loves to run. I mean, he went past Orman as if he wasn't there. Ricardo Fuller being tracked back by Brevner. Steps inside Gary Smith. Eventually the challenge came in. Alan Maybury has it, delivers it into the box, knocked away. And Gary O'Connor plays it up to Hurtado. Hurtado going forward. Presley's with him, and he should see enough of the ball, but Presley loses out. Hurtado's still going. Holding up, he's getting no support from the midfield. The Hibs fans are furious. Eventually John O'Neill comes forward. Lays it back to Brevner. Brevner delivers, and Maybury clears. Arpignon thinks about the shot. He's never scored for Hibs. Trying to work the 1-2. Gary O'Connor. He's got a man outside him in Zatelli. Still danger, and eventually Hearts through. Steve Fulton take control. Gary Wales is free on the left. Steve Fulton will roll it through, looking for Fuller. And Ian Murray will play it away. Still the action continues. Again. On to Simmons. Simmons got him. He was impeded by Stuart Biddle. I was going to say he got past him, but he just got caught by the shoulder. And now Hurtado is offside as the ball's played forward by Gary Smith. He cast a glance to the assistant referee. Well, Frank Sauzet looks on. Still to see his side score a goal. Hibs an appalling record. They haven't won since the last Edinburgh derby in October. Gary Wales fights hard. With Fuller. Fuller gets into the box brilliantly. He keeps going. He was being held. There's a chance for Simmons. Cleared off the line. Gary Wales can't get there. Ian Murray looked to have cleared the ball. What a chance that was. Now Hibs try and come forward. The free kick will be given. Well, Ricardo Fuller got inside too. It was Jack and Smith. Kept going, laid the ball back. It was knocked away by Ian Murray. And Gary Wales, who were disappointed, but it didn't fall for him. French connections, Zatelli to Arpignon. Arpignon delivers. Gary O'Connor was going back. The Hibs fans felt he was being pulled by Andy Webster. Gary O'Connor doesn't complain too much. Ball came in. Certainly there was an arm on the shoulder. And there may have been a decent claim for a penalty kick. Yet to taste victory in the Edinburgh derby, Craig Levein, 2 draws and 1 defeat since taking over from Jim Jeffries in December last year. He's close to derby day victory. John O'Neill gets away from Tommy Cronlund, who looks to the heavens as O'Neill plays it out wide. Arpignon is there. Benny Arpignon delivers it across. Little touch came in. Hurtado went in there. Now breaks for O'Connor. O'Connor to Dela Cruz. Dela Cruz on a strike. Inches away. Ulysses Dela Cruz has 2 goals for Hibs. Both have come against Hearts. O'Connor just supplied the touch. He wanted it back, the youngster, but Dela Cruz decided on the shot. It took a deflection in from Zatelli, and Hibs were also close. Well, Frank Sauzet never lost as a player in this fixture. He's come close now, just 10 minutes to go to losing his first as a manager. More importantly, it'd be 4 games without a win in the Sauzet reign. De La Cruz goes past his man, just touched by Steve Fulton. Another free kick, Steve Fulton just helpfully trying to make sure it's taken from the right place. Simmons got the initial header. Reardon controls it well. Tries the shot, that's a good effort. It's pushed away by Roddy McKenzie. And out for the corner. Oh, good play from Derek Reardon. Just 9 minutes left. Ball came out to him, controlled it, fought off the challenge, and whipped it in. And Roddy McKenzie got it away. The corner, the head flicks from Jack. Roddy McKenzie on the line. Matthias Jack on as a substitute, got up well, a little back flick, and Roddy McKenzie keeps his goal intact. Not struggling to bring the ball down, but Hibs need to get it down and play it forward. They'll get a free kick. Scott Severn disagrees. As Grant Brebner will fire the ball forward, and as Hibs score now, it will feel like a victory to them. Ball forward, De La Cruz is there, it's blocked, Townsley sees it spin away from him, John O'Neill! The captain does it for Hibs! Frank Sauzet is delighted, hugged by Donald Park. But John O'Neill with his third of the season, right on the 90th minute. Looks to have given Hibs a share of the points. Townsley was in there, laid it back, and that's how to dispatch a ball into the back of the net. He's played well, John O'Neill, and that's rounded off a fine performance. 1 minute of stoppage time has been played at Tynecastle. John O'Neill scores the first goal in the Frank Sauzet reign, which looks set to give his team a point. Hibs trying to come forward. Reardon, ball played away. Derek Townsley takes it through the legs. Roddy McKenzie's there. Derek Townsley almost made himself a hero. Reardon again played the ball through. Townsley's first touch beat Presley, and Roddy McKenzie's done well. Hibs fans feel like a win to them. They thought they were going home defeated. Frank Sauzet, he's not happy with what's happening behind him. Now Arpignon on to Townsley. Townsley plays it back, and referee Stuart Dowell brings the 82nd Premier meeting between Hibs and Hearts to a close. And John O'Neill is the man who's Hibs' hero this afternoon. Right on the 90th minute, the managers shake hands. Craig Levein must be disappointed. He saw Kevin McKenna give his side the lead after 11 minutes. As a lead be held until the 90th minute. But John O'Neill rescued his side, scored the first goal under the reign of Frank Sauzet. The Hibs fans are delighted, there's no doubt about that. Hearts bid to win 4 in a row for the first time since November 97. Falters once more with Hibs. And it finishes a very quiet Tynecastle from the Hearts fans' point of view, noisy from the Hibs fans' point of view. It finishes Hearts 1, Hibs 1.
All the excitement and drama we've come to expect of Hearts against Hibs. Gordon, you were there. Was 1-1 the right result? Did Hibs deserve to get something?
I think they did. They served up a very good match, I have to say. I enjoyed it, and I think that Hibs started the game well, and despite the fact they were without a few players, I thought they played some good stuff. But then Hearts got the goal, the vital opening goal, and then looked as if they could have the game won. But in the second half, I would say one thing about Hibs, they kept going, they kept pushing forward, and they had Hearts pinned in a little bit in the second half. I thought a little bit too much. I think Hearts themselves got it wrong by sitting so far back, because it allowed Hibs to come at them and create some openings. But there was also opportunities in the second half for Hearts to tie the game up, as we saw.
Jim, let's pick our way through some of the key moments of the match. We'll speak about the offside element or non-offside element of this goal shortly, but it was certainly freakish in the way it went in.
It was. I mean, if you see, I think it's Smith that heads the ball out, and there's Fulton there. I mean, he's heading that in more than hope than anything at all. Hibs appealing for offside, but he's not, because De La Cruz played him on. And McKenna, of course, mishits the ball, fools the goalkeeper, bounces over him into the net. As you say, it's a bizarre goal, but You know, there's the ball played back in again by Fulton. You know, he's just really just trying to play it into anybody.
If he'd caught this cleanly, the goalie would probably have saved it.
Well, he could well have done. He could have hit it against the goalkeeper. He could have skied it. So, but he's mishit it. And the goalkeeper, of course, can't legislate for that. He's expecting him to get a clean hit, and he's probably well enough positioned. But there's nothing you can do about a miss hit that just bounces off.
Because of the room that McKenna had to score the goal, it looked as if he might well be offside, but he was actually well onside, as this angle shows.
It does. You can see when Steve heads up back in, there's De La Cruz. He's been strolling it as though it's a Sunday afternoon walk for him. He should have been much quicker than that, but he plays everybody on. So there's no way that's offside. But some of his defenders didn't even realise he was there because they were appealing.
And with the aid of that bounce, it was 1-0 for
the
Hearts.
goalkeeper feeling a bit silly, especially if he's watching this tonight.
Yeah. Jim, Hearts were kicking themselves tonight because they had chances to make it safe. 1-0 is always precarious.
Yes, I think the turning point there was when
Thomas
this was a good move and a good one too. It was a great cross, and I've seen Thomas do this time and time again in training, but I felt he should have looked Gordon. He should have went for the header there. Maybe attacked the ball and.
Was he going for goal of the season there?
Well, I think so. Thomas is renowned for that, as I said, in training, and he normally hits the target, but I think he'd been better choosing to go and attack it with his head, but it was a good chance.
It wasn't a game of too many good chances, and you would look back on that one as a chance to say at 2-0, that's it, we're home, we're safe.
It was a typical derby. It was played like a cup tie, and you know, it was a big game for both clubs. Hibs have been struggling a wee bit. Hearts got a bit of confidence from 3 good results, and with a few players missing, Hearts would see that as a good chance to get a win today. But then the win in the second half when it was kicked off the line, that was another great opportunity, and Hibs were a bit fortunate there.
As you said, Gordon, Hibs on their second half showing merited something, although they left it late with John O'Neill scoring this goal, which might well be a springboard for Hibs to better things.
Well, it's the first goal under Frank Sozzi, but I mean they did probably deserve it just because they kept going, forced the pressure here, the ball came back. It was a nice little touch of Derek Townsley. He had a bad touch to start with, but then he slipped it into path of O'Neill. I thought O'Neill was outstanding today. Excellent performance from him. He got the captain's armband, but he strikes us away really well.
That has been no problem scoring the last few games. So it just fell for me, and I just thought, don't sky it. Just hit the target, and it went in. So just delighted.
Another big bonus, Jim, for Hibs today, I thought anyway, was the performance of 18-year-old Gary O'Connor, who's played just a handful of games, 6 foot tall, he's a big specimen, and he looks as if he can play. He's a real prospect.
He did, and he looked very comfortable as well, and he had a couple of good chances where Hibs could have benefited from that, but he certainly exudes confidence. You know, I don't know whether it's the exuberance of youth, but he certainly looks like a confident player. I think this is his overhead kick. No, that's not. It turns out goalkeeper blocks up his leg, but he brings it down. His first touch is good here if you watch, and he turns quickly. Maybe his shot could have been a bit firmer than that, but the goalkeeper did quite well to block that. But it was a good touch and a good turn. He's it shows the awareness of him as well.
You know what you were going to say about the overhead kick?
Yes, this is the overhead kick. The goalkeeper makes it look the save spectacular. I think he could have dealt with it a wee bit easier than that, but I don't suppose we could criticise the keeper for that. He had quite a good game, but that's a good effort from O'Connor, and again, it demonstrates the confidence that he has.
Okay, you were impressed with him, and so was his manager.
Oh, yes, he was calm, but I'm not surprised. I know him very well. Last season, he used to train with us, with the Premier team. He's a good player, strong, very skillful, and even if he's a young player, I think he brings his experience to the on the pitch.
And back to Hearts. It was a disappointing outcome for them, having got in the lead in the match. They felt they should have held on. They had to settle for a point. But Craig Levein looking at things in a wider context, and he's happy with the recent run his team has had.
We've got to look at the bigger picture, and you know, we've taken 10 points for our last 12, and you know, we've got another game on Wednesday that we'll have to go up for and try and get all 3 points.
Jim, when you look at Hearts now and Hearts then, just over a year ago when you were in charge, do you see much of a change?
Well, like any new manager that goes in, they want to bring in some of their own players, and Craig's brought in a few younger players, and it takes a bit of time to gel. I watched him a few weeks ago playing Livingston, and you know, they were dreadful, and you know, the Livingston thoroughly deserving, could have been bigger, but certainly they've picked up since then, and 3 good results. And you know, they had a great chance to make it forward today, but as Greg says, 10 points out of 12. You know, you'll be hoping he gets 10 out of the next 12, and you know, to climb the league. But Hearts are a big club, and they really should be in there about third of behind Rangers and Celtic, and you know, that'll be always a target for them.
But you, more than anyone else, is aware of the restrictions that he's operating under, which seem to have got even more stringent since your departure.
To catch with
Well, you spent all the money.
I spent all the money, yeah, but I didn't think they did too badly in some of the money I spent when they've got some cracking players there, and you know, Niemi and the Watton Lions, the Silk, Colin Cameron and Neil McCann and that. So I think I'm well in pocket at Tynecastle there.
And we're trying to find a job for you tonight, so anything you particularly fancy, and we'll see what we can do. I mean, obviously you're being linked with jobs already, jobs that even don't exist at this stage.
Oh, it's just, you know, the one that's being the paper just total nonsense. It's unfair to Alex Smith and his staff up at Dundee United. Know nothing about that. I've just read about takeovers like everybody else over the last few weeks, and it's just a bit of mischief making, and certainly no foundation to that as well. But hopefully, I like to, as I say, like anybody else that is looking around for a job, but if it doesn't come too soon, then I'll enjoy the benefit of a break. It's been 14 years, this is the 14th season now, we're only really 1 week in between, and so if it takes a wee while, then I'll enjoy the break and maybe get the handicap back then.
Yeah, well, we've been delighted not to interview you for a while anyway. That's been great for us.
The thing I was going to ask you, Jim, was anything to do with your settlement in respect that you can't take a job right away? I mean, can you, leaving Bradford, can you take up a job immediately?
Bradford City chapter is now closed, and I'm now, there's nothing holding me to go into another position. As I said, that hopefully, you never know in football, it just suddenly something might just come up that fancy, but I certainly won't be diving into anything.
Well, this money you've got now, Jim, how about buying every week your loose change?
Well,